Yang Berhormat Datuk Roland Sagah Minister for Education, Innovation and Talent Development Sarawak. Honorable Deputy Ministers from Sarawak, Datuk Sri Muhammad Iqbal, Deputy Chairman and Advisor to KSI, Ms. Lai Wei Cheng, Deputy President of NAPEI, the National Association of Private Educational Institutions, Excellency, Dato, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Selamat pagi dan selamat datang. We extend a very warm welcome to all of you to our 2023 National Education and Learning Summit. In particular, we're extremely grateful to have with us the Honorable Minister for Education, Innovation and Talent Development of Sarawak, Yang Berhormat Datuk Roland Sagah, to be with us here today with your two Deputy Ministers and also with a delegation from Sarawak. I believe that Sarawak provides a good model for Malaysia in advancing education. Sarawak has made very extensive use of English in schools, particularly in the teaching of science and mathematics right from primary school upwards. And having the ministry named as a Ministry of Education, Innovation and Talent Development is also very apt and relevant, as education is closely linked to innovation and talent development. We hope that from the Minister, we can learn more about Sarawak's approach to education and education reforms. Today's summit is apt and timely as we continue to face numerous education challenges in an increasingly multipolar world. I believe it is time for a great reset in Malaysian education. And we do hope that during the course of today, our very many distinguished speakers can share with us your thoughts and your insights and how we can reset Malaysian education. I believe that there is a great need for a reset in Malaysian education because of several major issues. First, we need to make education a key enabler of national unity and how we can instill unity right from school level right up to university level. Secondly, we also need to think about how we can reset TVET education in the country because of the growing and importance of TVET. To ensure that TVET is a success, we need to be able to carry out wage reforms to increase the salaries of TVET graduates and to upgrade their status in society. And then we also need to take a very detailed and important look at early childhood education so that we can lay a good foundation for educational success. I also believe that the development of the whole personality, going beyond mental development, taking into account physical, moral, and spiritual development, is also key and important to make our graduates more future ready and prepared to fill the jobs of the future. In this regard, we hope that our universities will continue to grow to become innovation hubs for the country. We need to also future-proof Malaysian education and our Malaysian graduates. Lastly, I wish to extend my congratulations to several award recipients who will be honored for their educational leadership at the conference today for educational excellence and for iconic leadership in education. This is the first time we are honoring leaders in education at our National Education and Learning Summit. Lastly, I wish to thank all our corporate sponsors for your kind support of this event. Thank you also to all our many distinguished speakers, and thank you to all of you for coming. Once again, terima kasih yang berhormat.
Thank you so much, Tan Sri Michael Yeoh, for your insights and ideas. You spoke about the 5R, reset the education system, re-emphasize education as the key enabler to national unity, reform TVET, relook early childhood education, and lastly, resilience in the education system in future-proofing graduates and our citizens. Thank you so much for the insights, Tan Sri. It now gives me pleasure to invite Ms. Lau Y. Cheng, Deputy President of NAPEI, to take the stage and deliver the welcome speech. Let's give her a big hand.
Yang berbahagia Tan Sri Dr. Michael Yeoh, President KSI Strategic Institute for Asia Pacific, Yang berbahagia Datuk Roland Sagah, Ministry for Education, Innovation and Talent Development Sarawak, Professors, Datuk-Datuk, Datin-Datin, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to all. I would like to start by thanking KSI for once again inviting NAPEI to be one of the collaborating organizations for the National Education and Learning Summit, and for the honor of being invited to deliver this welcome address. I am very happy indeed to welcome all of you, participants and guests, to this annual summit, the theme of which today is Future Ready Education for a Future Capable Society. Our mission is clear: to ensure that our future graduates are totally equipped with the skills and knowledge they need against the background of rapid evaluation of technology, requiring the creation of Industry 4.0 compliant workforce. I hope that through this event, we can generate and promote the ideas and innovation to prompt our young people to grasp the formal education they need to excel in their careers. In today's ever-changing job market, the required skills and demands of the workforce are constantly shifting. While there is a growing perception that technology poses a risk to human employment, it is important to remember that companies will always rely on human talents in the long run. Dear colleagues, education and training institutions need to focus on and enhance the teaching of soft skills, including the skills of learning how to learn, introducing flexible study environments, and providing more industrial and work-based training. Institutions of higher learning and training providers need to provide courses that foster the development of entrepreneurial qualities, exposure to globalization, digital literacy, and technological proficiency, highlighting the importance of sustainable development practices, ethical decision-making, innovation, creativity, and risk-taking. I always believe that this starts from school. Besides developing core skills in schools, students need to learn to anticipate and prepare for future challenges and adopt the latest technologies. Education should not overlook the encouragement of creativity, innovation, and entrepreneurial thinking. Early exposure to globalization is critically important. Different cultures, languages, perspectives, and appropriate education can develop individuals who are culturally sensitive, open-minded, respectful, and capable of collaborating with people from diverse backgrounds. While engendering all this, it is not to forget the need to groom them to be ethically and socially responsible. In developing career readiness, education should provide opportunities for career exploration, vocational training, and exposure to a variety of professions. Equipping students with relevant broad spectrum skills, combined with real-world exposure, can enhance employability, entrepreneurial potential, and readiness for the workforce. It is our sincere hope, dear friends, in closing, let us embrace the hope that through and beyond this event, we shall gain input and insight for growing an ecosystem that our hopes for the future, our beloved students and graduates can, through this all, receive the finest education, leading to a higher employability and life fulfillment. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Lau, for your another insightful speech. You spoke about the challenges, opportunities, and aspirations, and you talk about the role of NAPEI in tackling these issues and also unlocking the opportunities. Very good speeches, welcome speeches. But ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great honor to invite Yang Berhormat Datuk Roland Sagah WIN, Minister for Education, Innovation and Talent Development, to deliver the special keynote address. Let's give him a hand as he walks his way to the rostrum.
Terima kasih kepada saudara pengacara majlis. Yang berbahagia Tan Sri Michael Yeoh, President of KSI Strategic Institute for Asia Pacific. Yang berbahagia Datuk Sri Muhammad Iqbal Rotha, Deputy Chairman of KSI. Ms. Lau Wai Cheng, Deputy President, National Association of Private Educational Institutions, NAPEI. My two deputies, Yang Berhormat Datuk Dr. Anwar Rapi'i. I think I asked him to stand up so that you all know him. And the other deputies, Yang Berhormat Datuk Francis Hadin Hollis, please. And my permanent secretary, the English are very strange people. Any Englishmen here? Because they are never permanent. But they gave them that job. Tuan Haji Azmi bin Haji Bujang. Your Excellencies, esteemed speakers, ladies and gentlemen. This morning, I also feel very much at home. Not because I'm Malaysian, but I see some Sarawak faces also here. Well, we are all Malaysians. And I will not touch on the national policies, because that we all know is a federal matter. So what I will do is to just go through what we have learned during the past years, previously and presently through the years for those of us in Sarawak. I believe some states may also have the same experience. Let me start my speech by quoting a Chinese proverb. I've never been to Mandarin school, so if it's wrong, you just forgive me. I just hope I don't pronounce the word wrongly. Xinian, Xumu, Bainian, Xuren. I think I didn't quote the English one because I think the Chinese, in terms of education, in literature, for a very long time ago, Chinese civilization have been there for all this while. So hopefully this translation is correct. It says it takes 10 years to grow a tree, durian tree, Munsang King. But 100 years to cultivate people. So the challenges are on us. This proverb is derived from a story found in a book written by Guan Dong, I think, a politician and statesman during the spring and autumn period of 770 BC and 476 BC. That's a long, long time ago. So I will try to relate the above proverb with Sarawak's policy and approach in education. I will go down Sarawak's memory lane until the present day. Before James Brooke arrived in 1839, informal education was already available in Sarawak. For example, the madrasa were established to teach the Islamic religion among the Malays. The medium of instruction was Bahasa Melayu, and written text use was Jawi. This madrasa continued until the establishment of many schools by the British, and then after 1963 by the federal government. It is interesting to note that not only the Malays attended this madrasa. A fairly large number of non-Muslims, like the Badir and Ibans, also attended this madrasa. But just for your information, they were not converted. It's just like the Malays who went to mission schools was never converted. That is why, even to date, there are still some of the older generation, not me, I can write in Jawi, among the Iban Sebadiya who can still read and write in Jawi. Amazing, isn't it? I think when they dua, I don't know what they dua. Our very first mission school, St. Thomas's, there was my school also, was established in 1848. This was followed by several other mission schools throughout Sarawak. These mission schools have continued to play important roles and have in fact produced many leaders for Sarawak, both in the public and private sector. Many of our present state leaders had their early education in these mission schools. As for Chinese schools, every Chinese community had its own school, which was built, managed, and financed by local resources, largely independent of government control. The first of such school was the Hokkien Free School in 1912. It was also called Sarawak Free School and later Chunghua School Number 1. The Brooke administration had also subsidized Chinese schools, but through the religious mission. After the Japanese occupation, the local government was involved in building up a system of primary education. Secondary education was provided by the mission and Chinese schools, which were located mainly in the big towns. Students visiting or wishing to continue their studies into secondary schools had to sit for a special selection exam called the Common Entrance. That was when they were in primary 6. This exam did not do justice to education in Sarawak. For only a very small number of people ever passed the examination. Very difficult. And then they will continue to secondary school. After the formation of Malaysia on 16 September 1963, not 31st of August, this is the Malaysia Day, 16 September 1963. Education became a federal matter, listed under Schedule 3 of the Malaysian Constitution. Despite the fact Sarawak government continued to emphasize on education, but in an indirect approach. In 1971, Sarawak Foundation, or Yayasan Sarawak, was established mainly to provide education financial assistance and also to improve education in general. Young Sarawak students were sent to West Malaysia to pursue their secondary education, starting with their Form 1 in selected schools, given the fact that Sarawak was lacking in facilities. Hundreds were sent every year from all over Sarawak. Scholarships were also awarded to Sarawakians to pursue their tertiary education either locally or abroad. Sarawak Foundation was in fact a catalyst in the development of education in Sarawak. As hundreds of Sarawakians were sent to secondary schools in the peninsula, this had created great awareness in the importance of education and also the importance of getting tertiary education. Through these programs, leaders emerged among Sarawakians in every field, and some became the echelon of the civil service and also in the private sector. One became our present one of the Deputy Prime Minister. Yang amat berhormat Datuk Seri Haji Fadilah bin Haji Yusof. More opportunities for Sarawakians to pursue tertiary education were created when ITM, now it's called UITM, and UPM set up branch campuses in Sarawak. UITM in 1973 and UPM in 1974. The state government provided the land to site the campuses. Presently, UITM have campuses in Kota Samarahan and Mukah, while UPM is in Bintulu. In 1992, University Malaysia Sarawak, or UNIMAS, was established. The state government allocated 2,200 acres of land in Kota Samarahan to UNIMAS for the campus. Now it is a sprawling campus with more than 15,000 students from all over Malaysia and even from abroad. The federal government is to be complemented for the building of many fully residential schools, science secondary schools, Mara colleges, vocational schools, including expansion of both primary and secondary school buildings. Many schools were also established in new settlement areas. There are now altogether 1,460 schools in Sarawak, of which 1,266 are primary schools and 194 secondary schools. You'll be surprised why 1,000 plus becoming 100 plus only. Because some of the schools are SKM, we call it. Sekolah Kurang Murid. There are 38,252 teachers. 23,995 are teaching in primary schools, while 14,257 are secondary school teachers. Due to the sparsely populated area in Sarawak, we have what we call the SKM just now, numbering 651. SKM is described as a school with less than 150 students. There are instances where schools have less than 20 students, but with full teaching strength. Both State Education Department and Sarawak government have initiated the consolidation of these SKM schools. However, it is very difficult to execute because in most cases, closing down the school would mean that students need to travel further, in some cases, 2 to 3 hours from their village to the school. The lack of proper roads further compound the problem. It is very important for Sarawakians to possess a worldview on issues and on development, acquire knowledge on science and technology, and in other disciplines. Sarawakians going abroad is only affordable by a small group, while sending Sarawakians abroad on scholarship is also limited. We are very appreciative of the many bodies offering scholarships and assistance. However, in order to attain a larger number, we need to have international universities in Sarawak. So the Sarawak government invited Curtin University of Technology from Perth, Australia, to set up campus in Sarawak. Consequently, in 1999, Curtin University of Malaysia, Sarawak, was established in Miri. Presently, Curtin Malaysia have 3,000 students. Another Australian university from Melbourne was also invited, and Swinburne University of Technology, Sarawak, was established in 2000. Swinburne University is located in Kuching with 3,200 students presently. When I mention all those numbers, it's not just Sarawakian. We'll be happy if so Sarawakian. But we also have students from overseas here. The government decision to establish another university in Central Sarawak further provide opportunities for Sarawakians to enroll for tertiary education. In 2013, University College of Technology Sarawak, or UCTS, was established in Cebu. In 2020, the college attained full university status known as University Technology Sarawak, or UTS. Presently, there are 3,000 students in UTS. Another university college, this ICATS, was established in 2002. that started as a technical institute. Actually, it's not the CAT itself, but it comes from this acronym. International College of Advanced Technology Sarawak. So it happened to become a CAT. After in operation for 21 years, ICAT is now gearing towards attaining a full university status. The establishment of all these state-owned institutions not only has provided greater opportunities for Sarawakians and Malaysians in general to pursue their tertiary education, but at a cheaper fees and living costs. The institutions also allow Sarawakians to pursue courses and disciplines specifically tailored to the needs of Sarawak's development. For other highly specialized academic courses not available locally, scholarships are made available for Sarawakians to pursue their studies in Ivy League universities and other world-renowned institutions. In addition to emphasizing on academic excellence, Sarawak government has since 1973 established the Youth Training Development Center. It started with providing basic skills in plumbing, construction, and electrical. In 1994, Sarawak Skills Development Center was established to further provide technical training to fulfill Sarawak's industrial development needs. In 2014, to meet the new challenges of the industry, the government expanded the role of the Youth Training Development Center and rebranded center as Center of Technology Excellence, or CENTEX. In 2008, SCORE, or Sarawak Corridor of Renewable Energy, was established and attracted FDI to Sarawak. The FDI required skilled workers, and the technical institutions established earlier complement each other and are highly industry-driven that benefit not only local industries and also help to further attract foreign investors to Sarawak. As Sarawak inspired to move up the development ranking towards achieving high-income economy by 2030, education, talents, and innovation are given prominence and a high priority. In 2017, a new ministry was established with education, innovation, and talent development under its purview. That is my ministry. So it's very, very young, just a few years old only. So excuse me if we are not that matured yet. The ministry is charged to formulate policies on these matters, and all educational, technical, and research establishments in the state were placed under its ambit to regulate and monitor. This begs the question, as education is a federal matter, how could the ministry have control over them? It is true that education is a federal responsibility, but the ministry supports, complements, and sometimes plays watching dog. I don't know why the British call it the watchdog. Since 2017, the state government has pumped in almost 2 billion ringgit for various educational programs, and this includes funds for addressing the issue of dilapidated buildings in schools. The dilapidated buildings in schools are not only the classrooms, but also include teachers' quarters, especially in the rural areas. We are quite upset. We have to admit that. We are quite upset with the federal government as the issues have been raised for quite some time. Yet, little is done to address the matter. We are continuing to put pressure on the federal government to address this matter, as we could never compromise the safety and comfort of the students and teachers. I am proud to state here that we are the only state that provided 9,436 Raspberry Pi computers to all the 1,266 primary schools through the length and breadth of Sarawak, whether it's in the city or in the remote rural area not near the border. We want our students to start familiarizing themselves with computer coding, robotics, and mechatronics at a very early stage. Through our program, led by our own Swinburne University, we pray that sometimes in the future, in the near future, we are able to produce our very own young programmers and computer scientists. We are also the only state that is approved to conduct teaching of mathematics and science in English. This was mentioned by Tan Sri Michael Yeoh now. There's the dual language program. It's called dual language program, but actually for us it's only one language program. Although approval was given by the Ministry of Education Malaysia, Sarawak government provided the required funding for training and materials for the DLP. The DLP involved 8,000 teachers throughout Sarawak. We are now in our 4th year, still at its infancy. That began with Year 1 classes in 2020. We still have quite some time to go, but we are optimistic. Resulting from the COVID-19 pandemic, Sarawak government introduced the Post-COVID Development Strategy 2030, or simply PCDS 2030. Through the PCDS 2030, Sarawak aspires to be a developed state by 2030. By 2030, there will be a thriving society driven by data and innovation, where everyone enjoys economic prosperity, social inclusivity, and sustainable environment. It is a tall order for all of us, and the ministry is entrusted as the enabler to spearhead the education and human capital development cluster. Thank you. A lot of hard work. Under this cluster, catalytic initiatives are developed in a manner of strategic partnership with industries and stakeholders. The ultimate goal is to create a science-literate society and address the disparity in quality of education. Strategic projects are also planned. It is my pleasure to share here that we are also the only state that has established a state-owned international secondary school. It is a private school actually, owned by the state. One has started operation in Putrajaya, currently in year 8. One in Kuching, which will start in 2025. One in Cebu, planned to commence in 2026, while both one each in Bintulu and Miri should commence in 2030. These international secondary schools run the IGCSE Cambridge syllabus to cater specifically rural students and the underprivileged, usually what we call B40. All students to the schools are offered full scholarships by Yayasan Sarawak. We are also developing a very own science center due to open its doors by 2026. There are a host of other strategic projects under education and human capital development. And it will be very exciting for us in Sarawak within the next 7 years. Within the PCDS 2030, the government put emphasis on the new economy, capitalizing on the digital transformation as a platform. Sarawakians are introduced to terminologies and concepts such as e-commerce, e-wallet, blockchain, IoT, artificial intelligence, digital spectrum, carbon capture and utilization and storage, blue and green hydrogen, sustainable aviation fuel, SAF, circular economy, RR 4.0, and so forth. Along with this, Sarawak is spending on renewable energy, as Sarawak have huge resources. We have presently 3 mega dams generating power, and there will be another due for completion by 2028. Our electricity authority, Sarawak Energy, is also embarking into floating solar, using floating solar panels of PV. Research is also undergoing into hydrogen production, storage, and distribution research in SAF by way of microalgae production, and also research into energy from biomass. Indeed, all of these are undertaken either by our local research centers or in collaboration with both local and international partners. Our Sarawak's Biodiversity Center is one of a kind in this region, leading research into tapping of our biodiversity on making discoveries in biological resources that would lead to the development of herbal therapies, nutraceuticals, cosmeticals for healthcare, and pharmaceutical drugs to countering diseases such as cancer and infectious agents. Our Tropical Peat Research Institute, or TROPI, another well-renowned establishment to undertake focused research on tropical peat and peatland in Sarawak. It is a commitment to develop and manage tropical peatland for agriculture in an environmentally responsible manner. This will also give Sarawak the local standard in the international tropical peat and peatland research. To date, TROPI has established itself as the reference for tropical peat in the world. The Sarawak government, through my ministry, has also established the Sarawak Infectious Disease Center, which will be in full operation once the facility is completed by 2026. All these research entities and agencies under the purview of my ministry. If you visit Sarawak today, you would be able to see firsthand all these activities are ongoing, and within the next 5 to 10 years, with our endeavors and commitment, will come into reality. However, all these efforts require our human capital equipped with the required knowledge and competency. We need to achieve critical mass number of engineers, specialists, technologists, scientists in all fields. We also need a large number of professionals in the non-technical fields, especially like seafood and others. We have done studies and we have master plans and blueprints on how to achieve the numbers. But as it is, we are facing the great challenge of enrolling students into STEM and TVET. Therefore, it is incumbent upon my ministry to ensure that by the year 2030, 40% of students are enrolled in STEM and 20% in TVET. This may not sound much, but with the current base at 32% and 12% respectively, it will require a full collaborative effort by all stakeholders, especially the federal-owned Department of Education, while under the Ministry of Education, Malaysia. We sometimes feel that our counterpart in Putrajaya has misplaced some of their priorities towards Sarawak. Hence, the poor conditions of our rural schools, unfilled vacant posts of teachers, one-size-fits-all policy in terms of funding of schools, programs, and activities, strict centralized decision-making, to name a few. These are the problems that we face too. Sarawak has been demanding authority in some education matters, as stipulated in the Intergovernmental Committee report that led to the Malaysia Agreement in 1963. Some were taken up in the Malaysian constitution, but you cannot have everything in the constitution, otherwise it's too thick. So part of it, even for the agreement, is too thick because as you can see, the IGC report is also very, very thick. Some were taken up in the Malaysian constitution, yet not executed. In this matter, Sarawakians are making their demand very loudly. We are not hiding anything. It's all written there. If you read the papers, statements are made by both the Prime Minister and the Deputy Prime Minister that the federal government is willing to offer concession to decentralize and devolve certain authority to Sarawak. We welcome this stand, and we will be making our case heard very soon. We hope that the federal government, especially the Ministry of Education, is not paying lip service, as Sarawak wants to be fully involved in making decisions in the shaping of the future generation. We have many countries under federalism where education is under state authority. I mean, Australia is a very good example. In conclusion, I hope I've not been boring you too long. In conclusion, the Sarawak government has invested billions of ringgit in education, be it financial assistance, scholarships, institutional facilities, programs, and activities. We hope that it will not take 100 years to build our generation. Actually, that when we target 2030, it cannot be 100 years. So you also have to help us. We are not doing it alone. So we hope that this will be for the economic prosperity, social inclusivity, and a sustainable environment. Sarawak aspires to be a developed state by 2030, not 2063. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Wabi Minister, for the speech.